30 minutes now where you can get all your views in, all your comments in, let us know exactly what you thought to yesterday's game. And also quickly, we will be looking forward to the Everton game. So please do get your views in, get your comments in. That's what it's all about tonight. We want to know what you thought to the game. Does that set us up on a new way, and where will it take us next? So join us and get your views and comments in live.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pukka Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Good evening and welcome. Thank goodness we got a win. That's what we all wanted to know. Welcome to the show. We want your views and comments in. I'm going to touch a little bit about the Pukka stuff. We have got a great competition coming up very, very soon, starting probably tomorrow on our socials, where you can win a season's worth of Pukka Pies. They're back down at the ground now, so they're going to be joining us and getting a lot of that stuff in there. But let's focus on the football before we talk too much about that. Dawn says, good evening. Hope you're well, Dawn. What were your views on yesterday's game? Wayne, welcome to you. Foxy, watching on YouTube. Great result for us. Indeed, it was. Craig says, great performance on Sunday. Matty's watching. Where are you this week, Matty? Are you in England, France, Ireland? He's all over the world. Andy says, great hard-fought win. But how many people are eating humble pie after seeing the team sheet? That'd be me, Andy. That's what happens. You see, when you put your neck on the block and make a video and say, that is a rubbish team sheet, then you look like stupid later. I've got to be fair with you. I'll stick by what I said pre-match. I think you should have changed the defence, and I still think that, even though we won. I think you've got to change the defence, but he didn't. And DeCover Reed, well, one or two assists. I think they're giving him the second one as assist as well. Fair play. That's what we want. Want to see a bit of blood and guts, so I don't mind. I'm glad I'm wrong, Andy. I'm absolutely glad I'm wrong. Although I still don't think Betsy and Fies is that amazing. But they did have a better game yesterday. I think Spurs, if I'm being honest about things, they could feel like they might have been able to pinch at least a draw out of it. They hit the crossbar twice. Richie says, good evening. A good win yesterday for Leicester Spurs. We needed that. Get behind Rude. Leicester fans, please no more being negative in there. Derek says, good evening. Foxy says, good evening. Winning is everything. That's all that matters. It is the winning. And how you do it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if we should or shouldn't have won yesterday. It is just doing it. The same with Everton on Saturday. I don't care. The points will help keep us up. Thought Rude picked the wrong side, but he proved me wrong. Top and Rudkin need to back him in the next week. I think that's a great point. That is one of our big talking points. It's the 27th of January, and who do we need to sign in January? That's the same banner we've had up every week all January. Who do we need to sign? I hope this week is when it all happens. This talk, as far as I know, Hamza's not gone yet, but he's on his way. Luke Thomas looks like he might go. I'm not seeing many big rumours about who we're coming in, unless I'm missing it. Let me know who we should get in. Gary says, I'm with you, but the lads played well. Good win. Absolutely in there. Jane, watching on YouTube, says staying up is everything. That's all we've got to do, Jane. I don't care how we do it. We've got to be the fourth worst team in the league. That for me is it. If we were to win at Everton, we pull them back in. But if we were to draw or lose, I think Everton are just pushing their way out of it. They've had 2 wins on the spin. There is definitely a bottom 4, and I think it'll be us or Wolves. And I think Ipswich and Southampton will definitely go down. That's what I think we are playing for. Dave says, have I jumped over to Wolves? No. It's got a Leicester badge on it. It is a bit orange. We picked some funny colours. You wait till you see what Jono's wearing tonight. He's coming on in a minute in a very fancy Leicester shirt of sorts. Oxlade Chamberlain, latest room. Thanks, Tony. Well, I hadn't heard that one, but I would not be opposed to that. A bit of quality and experience for the next 6 months. Mark says he loved the time wasting. Yeah, you got to do it. We've got to be professional. We need to see a bit of that going on. Which he says looks like Hamza's going on loan to Sheffield United. I think he is. What do you think about Luke Thomas? The rumour was we could get 5 million for Luke. 5 million for Luke Thomas, yes, please. I'd take 50 grand. I'd take £5 for him, bless him. He's really not featured in the team. I like Luke Thomas, but he hasn't featured. You can get 5 million for him and add that to the 10 million you got for Tom Cannon. That's 15 million. Let's use it. Get your views in, get your comments in. We could do with Southampton beating Ipswich on Saturday. Well, what do you want from that, Patrick? Do you want that? Do you want Southampton beating Ipswich, or do you want Ipswich beating Southampton, or do you want to draw? Let us know what you think in there. Tez says it's the best Monday for a long time. Tez, I'll tell you what, when we keep losing these games, it makes these shows hard work to be grumbling and moaning. I'm going to add Reedy in first. I've put the link out there and I'll share it again. So if you do want to come in and let us know your views, please do. But keep putting the comments on and we'll get them in there. Tony says 5 million for Thomas is all promise. Here comes Reedy. Let's add him in. Reedy, good evening and welcome. I think your voice has gone from being at the game yesterday a bit.
Yeah, it's coming back a bit, but yeah, brilliant win. Glad I went. There was every chance I was thinking, do I go or not? But what a game it was. And do you know what? Out of all the games that we've seen with Rude, finally I can say a good performance leads to a good win for me.
Yeah, indeed. And really, I mean, of course, from my point of view, it is a shame you didn't shout a bit louder, so you had no voice tonight, because that was perfect.
Yeah, like I say, I shouted as much as I could, but yeah, just finally got the win we wanted. So hopefully we can go into Everton and beat them as well.
I did. Before the game, really, I looked at the team, and I know through chatting to you in WhatsApp groups, I thought it was the wrong team, I must admit. I'd still, if he picked that team again on Saturday, I think I'd still be looking at the defence going, there is still plenty of mistakes in it. We got away with a few yesterday, didn't we? But we need a bit of luck like that.
I think there's a few games this season since Rude's been in that I've maybe been a bit fortunate or a bit like I say, it was more defensive errors, but there's times where Rude said it, you need the luck to go your way. And for instance, them two bar hits, if it was the inches lower, it goes in the net, and you just got to take it. You got to ride with it, because you can't always get the luck, but when you need it, you get it. So hopefully that can bring us a bit of confidence. And yeah, they probably should have scored more, but I think I don't think they had many errors in the game yesterday, to be honest. And I think that's the first time I've seen that in a while.
I think there was a few chances for Spurs. They certainly hit the crossbar at least twice, but I think a big shout out really to keeper Jakub Stolicic. Fantastic performance, probably man of the match.
I've got another player from our man of the match, but yeah, he was brilliant. He had brilliant save from Son, which was probably the biggest one out of them all. He actually saved the one on that went onto the crossbar in the first one, and then
he did. He just got a touch on it.
Yeah, and then they obviously had that first shot in the first half with Spurs where it went straight at him, but he had to save it. So yeah, he was very good. He was very close to my man of the match, but yeah, there was only one player for me in man of the match in that game. You want me to say it? Elkanous, mate. Elkanous. He's getting better every week. He's showing his better quality than Buonanotte, in my opinion. And for me, if we do go down, or maybe in the next year or two, if we are staying up, he will go for 56 to 70 million, mate. He's that good quality, and he's just getting better every game. And the goal he scored was, for me, like, it looks easy for him, but it wasn't an easy finish. Everyone was going mental when that goal went in, because it was the finish. It was brilliant.
To be fair, really, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be going mental for very different reasons, because they just let him waltz straight through. To be fair, they played at times like we've been playing, where you just let the players come at you and nobody goes to him. But he finished it very, very nicely. I'd still give it to Stolicic myself, because I thought he made 3, 4, 5 saves and clearances and getting stuck in that actually, if he hadn't made those, we would have at least drawn or maybe lost. But I get it. Elkanous is showing more maturity and strength week in, week out. He still loses the ball too much.
Oh,
but
no,
he's
yeah.
young. I give him that credit. He is young.
Yeah, definitely. Again, he is young. He's not going to be perfect, but unlike him, Buonanotte does lose the ball a lot more. Even the last game against Fulham, when he came on, he had 16 touches and lost 9 of them. So, again, it shows his quality at times. Yes, he's not the best at times, but when he is his best, he shows his best. So for me, I can't wait to see him more. And he has to start every game this season going forward now.
Yeah, Jono's clicked the link, so I'm going to add Jono in as well here. Jono, welcome to the show. Firstly, Jono, show us that shirt. It is pretty rank in my book.
Good, isn't it? It's a new training shirt.
Wow. Well, look, there's a split decision on us here. Reedy, is that a great shirt or is it?
Well, I was actually interested in it when I looked at it on the store, but when I went actually into the fan zone, the fan store, it was horrible. It was hideous. I was like, I'm not buying that. It would look nice on the store, but not in the shop.
Oh, it's a great shirt.
Hey, listen, let us know in the comments if Jono's shirt is a yes or a no. But Jono, first question to you, and again, a few people. Nathan goes on to say we've been a team playing with zero confidence, so hopefully this lifts us. But the question I want to ask you, Jono, is before the game, I was like, what is Rude doing with that team? And I sort of still stand by my comments because DeCorva Reed has been very in and out, flaky this season, but had a decent game yesterday, and you've got to give him credit.
You could say the same for Ayu, can't you? Like, he's been... We're really shaking his head.
Well, I think Ayu all season has been a solid 6 or 7 out of 10 most games.
Yeah.
So,
but like Mavadidi's been first team for a while, and it was really nice to see Rude proving us wrong. He's obviously worked on the training field, a different lineup, and it's paid off. I thought a degree of Reedy Elkanus is amazing. Like when he first started the season, it was a bit poor. I thought he didn't play well for the first few games, but every game is getting better and better. Confidence is growing. I mean, to force Bordenette on the bench, you got to play well, and he has done. So I agree. I was a bit shocked with the starting lineup, but yeah, it was immense.
Yeah, I mean, Tony says here, Jono, but Bobby DeCorva Reed was two assists and had the end product. Reed did what Mavadidi has lacked all season. I'm very not convinced on Mavadidi. I want him to do well, Jono, but it's just one of those players, Mavadidi. I don't know. He seems to put some effort in sometimes, but it just doesn't work out.
I've said in previous shows, he's a player you want to come on in the last 15, 20 minutes of a game. He's the player you want to attack and, press in the last 10 minutes when everyone's tired. You want him to come on for that, but for the majority of the game, you want experience. And Reed has got that over Mavadidi. And speaking about confidence, all rumours this week, Rude wants to resign. Rude was not promised, what he wanted when he first joined. And I did a show with Simon, and I said maybe Top should sell the club, but I think him get rid of all of our debts while giving other people more shares of the club, which will raise the debts, that just shows his commitment to the club. I think Rude basically, I think it was reported that he took everyone out for dinner to have a massive club dinner, just have a talk about all the, like, who's been doing really badly, what's going wrong, and then getting all of it out, and it seems to have worked. We had the togetherness, Normally we capitulate, and once we concede, we just concede like 6, but to come back, and not just to come back and draw. Come out the second half and we dominated them. You know what I mean? It wasn't like fluke. We just came out and scored a few goals, and that just says to me, there's only one thing that needs to happen. Top, sack Rudkin ASAP. He's the only person in my eyes who is ruining our football club. So that's my opinion.
That's fair enough, John. I don't want to get too embroiled in a John Rudkin, Sudan Whelan debate right now, but I hear what you're saying. And I think that we'll come on shortly to transfers in a minute. I just want Reedy, just yesterday, there was some good performances in there. We've mentioned a few. Bobby Reed did well. Ayu did well. Even Winks looked like he had something to prove to the Spurs fans a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be totally honest, and you're probably thinking, why was I moaning at him? But Ayu and Bobby Reed yesterday, as much as Bobby Reed did get the assists, there was a lot of times where I was criticising them for not really doing what I feel like they needed to do in the game. But I will say that after watching matches today and all that, the reason we won that game from what pundits are saying and whatnot, is the tactical game of it. Their midfield was the reason we won the game. They were too open, and that's why El Kanoush ran through. That's why AU had more of a runs down the wing, because they didn't have many players in the midfield. And Bennett Kerr, who they were talking about, was one man with so many players to mark. He just couldn't handle them.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
for
really,
me, it worked well. But like you
John-
said, Wings had a good game as well. Yeah.
Jono says here, Spurs were dog poo. I was surprised how bad they were. It kind of reminded me in a way of the game we lost 3-0 to Wolves. I don't think Wolves were that good against us in that 3-0, but we were just woeful.
Yeah,
and I think Spurs yesterday were a mess. I mean, they only had, according to reports, 12 fit players, and then the rest of, they had 1 or 2 on the bench who were near the first team, and the rest were young lads.
Bournemouth. That's the new one I'm saying for that. They had 10 first team players out injured. So I don't care about injuries. If you're a big club like Spurs, you have the backup. You have your bench should be stacked enough to bring on players to, stop Leicester. But so that's not an excuse for me. Everyone's got injuries. We've got a few injuries. You know what I mean? Our main goalkeeper is out. Vataru is out. Doesn't mean we can moan about it. You know what I mean? Bournemouth did moan about it. They thrashed Forest 5-0.
Yeah, although I think we have been using it to moan about the last few weeks. I'm going to add in Nick, who's been waiting patiently. Don't forget, if you do want to click on the link, I'll share it again very shortly. Nick, good evening. Thanks for joining us again on a Monday night, Nick. It's much nicer to have a little win under our belt. Just let me know your views on yesterday's game.
Who'd have thought it'd take a front three with a combined age of 102 to get us over the line?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You can keep your Mavidis and your Boyanotes and stuff and your Dakas, but the fact of the matter is the front three were 102 collectively and we won. Say no more.
Yeah, and Nick, I think, it doesn't really matter if it was lucky win or whatever. It's a win. That's all we needed.
I don't think it was. One thing that's annoyed me since full time yesterday, whether it was on 5 Live, Talk Sport, Match of the Day, even the papers, right? Not one of them has given the team of us any credit. I thought we played really well for the full 90 minutes under the circumstances. And it's all about Tottenham this, Tottenham that. They want Levy out, this, that, and the other. Not one of them can actually say Leicester played well.
I think Match Day were kind of insinuating it with the way they were saying about it was the midfield that won it for us, because we knew where their weaknesses was. And like I said, the Benton Kerr had to mark 3 or 4 players in the midfield. They couldn't handle us. So that's what we targeted, and that's why we were the better team. So for me,
we were
for
the full 90 minutes. We were the better team. I don't care what these so-called experts say. You should have heard 606 last night with Savage and Sutton. It was all the Spurs fans coming on saying they made us look good and this, that, and the other. No, we played really well for those full 90 minutes. It was a team performance. I thought we played really well.
I think from a media's point of view, Leicester winning is less newsworthy than Spurs losing again and being in a real pickle, Nick.
It may be, Phil, but at the end of the day, you give credit where credit's due, surely. And
like Mark, yeah, I agree. But like Mark says there, because the media is on Andrews, they want this story for Spurs. But listen, guys, I want to just slightly spin it now before we look at the Everton game. I think, and I want to ask everybody who's watching this question is, and yesterday's win for me set the scene even more importantly on this question, which is, who do we need to sign in January, knowing that it's the 27th today? So Monday the 27th, you got the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. I'm just checking there is 31 days in January, which there is, which is Friday. We've got four more full days left to sign somebody. And if the club's got any sense and just seen us pick up some points at Spurs and move out the relegation battle, well, not the battle, but move out the points. That's my question to you. And I'll start with Jono first of all. But Jono, this is the week to do something to back Rude, back the lads, back the team, back the club. If they got to do something, if they have to get a couple out and get a couple in, they've got to do something, haven't they, Jono? Now. This is the week.
We need. Well, I was saying goalkeeper, but after that performance against Spurs, Jakub deserves. We don't need a goalkeeper. I don't think we need a goalkeeper. We need a centre back. Like, I know Fassand, Vestergaard had a decent game, but we need a centre back with pace. And then we need a striker. I know we'll all love Vardy, but if Vardy gets injured, what's going to happen? We will score no goals. I think we need a striker.
Do you think you're going to get that this week, Jono?
It's Leicester for you, isn't it?
Yes, if it was any other club, but Rudkin is so far up his own arse that he won't.
Oh my God, that was the question not to ask Jono, wasn't it? I'm going to say no.
But no, but what I mean is that I think we need a centre back and a striker, but will we get them? Probably not. No.
I mean, that's the big question. I'm going to come to Nick next, but if you're watching this live, please put in there what you think we need. I like Jono says here. This I get it. We need Huth. Don't forget Huth did come in January on a free from Stoke. They are out there. Nathan says there's a window open on chat.
I think it does. I think it does. I think it does close on the 3rd, yeah.
Thank you, Reedy. I thought it was January the 31st, so apologies if I've got that wrong. Oxlade Chamberlain's been rumoured today, which I think would be okay. But A1 Hardy says, Jakub getting better with each game he's playing for us. I've got no problems with him at the moment. I think he's doing fine. Ben saying selling Cannon and not signing a striker just makes 0 sense in there. And Tony says, if we don't spend the money, we go down, which I agree with you. I think we are at that point. Reedy, we've got to do it this week, haven't we?
If I'm hopeful, yes, but I don't think it will happen. I think the main position for me that I'd sign is a winger, either left or right, whichever it is. Just be a bit more creativity in the game. I know obviously we won that yesterday, but I think you just need that out and out winger that we've just not got anymore. Like I say, Mavidi is the only one we've got, and he's just pants half the time. So for me, the winger spot for me is the main priority. And I will mention that Koulibaly yesterday, when he came on for the last 2 or 3 minutes, I know he didn't do too much, but he did brilliant from what he needed to do. He got stuck in and didn't lose the ball. So
he gave the ball away almost first touch, didn't he?
Well, near enough, but then he won it back. So. From what I can remember.
You say he never gave the ball away. He gave it away almost the first thing he did.
He got it. He had 3 men around him. It was going to be hard for him, but he didn't win it back and then quit the ball at the pitch. So
yeah,
that's what you want to do.
I mean, get your comments in. Who do we need to sign? I'm going to ask Nick now. Who do we need to sign this week, Nick? Do you think it will happen?
Well, I kind of agree with Jono that we need a striker. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've seen, believe it or not, links of Daka going to the MLS.
I heard that MLS, yeah. To the
well, you know why it would make sense, don't you? Because he's only got 6 months left on his contract. So if you can suddenly get 3, 4, 5, 6 million pounds, I mean, crikey, I'd take that for him with 3 years on his contract. But Nick, you'd take money for Daka, wouldn't you?
I'd take an offer for Daka. Just like I can't understand why we didn't take the offer for Thomas. Let's not forget that's pure profit as well. So it frees up more funds for us to spend in the window. So I don't get why we didn't take the 5 million euros.
Do you think, Nick, anything will happen this week?
No, if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't. I really don't. I don't see it. I think we've got our one player in Koulibaly. And I mean, the way Ruud was speaking in his press conference yesterday, it was, we've got Hermansen coming back soon and we've got Wilf coming back soon. And I don't know if he's been told he's not getting anybody and he's banking on having Wilf and Hermansen back.
And I mean,
we all
saw Ricky P's legs as well today on social media, I believe.
I've not seen it.
You've not seen that?
No, I ain't seen that.
Yeah, it was on their stories, a set of legs with boots on it. I didn't get it, but then somebody said to me it's Ricky P back in, I assume, light training. So maybe that's what they're going for in there. Let's get a few fan comments on, do you think we're going to get anybody in? A1 Hardy says definitely a striker. Dexter says let's bring in Mark De Vries. Let's not, Dexter. Scooby Baz says, okay, buy, then get gone. I don't know who he's talking about there, but let us know, Scooby. Lee says, with the positioning, I think we get quoted high prices. Do we want to overpay? Lee, do you want to overpay? Guys, do you want to overpay? No, of course we don't, but we do need some players. Rude up front soon. He could probably do a better job than Daka, if you ask me, Tony.
Phil's on a mission, isn't he? Luke Thomas, I'll sell him for peanuts. Daka, I'll sell him for peanuts.
Well, listen, Luke Thomas, nice lad from Syston. Wish him all the best. But is he Premier League, Jono? No, not really. And
he's a good backup, though. He's a good backup, though.
Like he's not against quality, really.
Against Villa. Against Villa,
United, he was rubbish.
Well, if Christensen gets injured, who have you got? I know you'll say JJ. Well, yes and no.
Left and right, just like JJ.
I get that, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Thomas. I get that, but I think right now,
But for me, Reedy, we've got how many games we've got left? I don't know. It's about 17 games left now, something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
For me, we need players. Again, this is this thing with this Koulibaly. I don't know why he was on the bench. For me, we need players who pretty much go straight into that starting. We need starters to improve the starting 11, not backup players in there. For me, let's get a few more comments in there. Scooby says, yeah, again, let's all look upstairs again. I know what he's on about there. Mark, yeah, to be fair, Mark, I'll get my wallet out. I'll chip in with you as well. How much do you, a tenner to pay, there you go for Daka's taxi. I've never rated him. Daka's contract till 2027-6. I don't think it is, Jono. I think it's up this June. Do you know, Reedy, when it's up?
What, my goat? Yeah, he's staying apparently. Yeah, I think he's on till 2026.
Oh my God.
I think he is 2026.
Well, that's more money then.
So put your money back in your pocket, mate.
No, it just bumps up the price if they really want him this window.
Well, then, yeah, let's sell him now and get more in there. I'm going to spin it, lads, before we talk about Everton, because obviously Jono's got a show this Thursday. Everton show, haven't you, Jono? So you'll be diving deeply into that, Jono.
Yeah, we're going to definitely delve into the Everton game. You know, we didn't really talk about the Spurs game much last Thursday because all the controversy is going on around the club. But after the win, we'll be going more in depth about how we played against Spurs and going into the Everton game. Yeah.
So I've got two bits of fun before we go, because obviously the Everton game, Jono can preview on his show on Thursday. Here's a question for all three of you. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to have a quick thing. If there was any player out of Leicester's past who you think, we could just do with that, if we could just sign somebody like, and I'll say somebody like Mark or Brighton, somebody who's like that could have a real impact now. I'm going to ask people who are watching this, if there was one ex-Leicester player not available, this is just like for fun, it's like fantasy, who would you sign? Robert Huth would be another great one, you'd say. You know, Mark or Brighton, some of these players, if I could, I'd have a Robbie Savage in there or Steve Wald. I don't want you to say Jamie Vardy, because we all know we'd want a Jamie Vardy, a Gary Lineker, a super duper player. But if there's somebody you go, if we could just have that person in there, that would make the difference. Let us know who you would. Mark Hinton says here, Kante. I did hear a rumour, and it's probably ridiculous, that actually they were looking at bringing Kante back from, I think he's out in Saudi Arabia. He would be one of those players. I mean, that's an actual, it could even happen. Scott says Perez, again, he's out there. I was thinking more about players like Richie's gone Steve Guppy, Andy Medhurst's gone Steve Guppy, Danny's gone Guppy, everybody's going Guppy. Guppy would be a great shout. Like I said, Mark or Brighton. John says Cotty. And Nathan says Chris Wood. That ain't happening. He's a top four club. I hate to say that, but he is. Scott says Muzzy, is it? Yeah, that would be nice. Somebody in there. Neil Lennon would be perfect. Absolute bite and leadership in there. Walshy, of course, gets a shout. A few more for Kante and Perez. Julian Joachim, yeah, wouldn't mind a bit of that pace in there. Where is the next Julian Joachim in there? Steve Claridge, somebody's saying Andy King, yeah, great shout. A few more for Izzet and Heskey. Cambiasso again. Would love to find somebody of Cambiasso's level. I'm going to bring in some of the lads now because I've given them 30 seconds to chat and think in their heads. Reedy, let's start with you. Somebody you just think, actually, that sort of player would work well.
I think, and this is me saying this when he first joined and not when he left us, because it was very bad when he left us. I would really want Wesley Fofana about the way he was playing, because for me, in the time I've been watching Leicester, and that was what, since 2009, 10 or 11 or whatever it is, for me, he was probably one of the best centre-backs we've had in that since I've been watching us. So for me, an informed Wesley Fofana in that back line.
Yeah, fair enough. Tony says Ryan Bennett. I mean, this week's shaping up to look like a Ryan Bennett type of week. Let's hope to God it's not Tony. Nick, let's come to you. What sort of player would you say at the past that you'd go, do you know what, if we could just get somebody like...
I would, well, Jono and Reedy will probably have no idea who this player is, but you certainly will, Phil, and so would Jamie, and that's Gary Parker.
Gary Parker.
And he was also very lethal, and he could also score a penalty. Never missed a penalty, in fact, in the Leicester shirt. Yeah, somebody like a Gary Parker. I was going to say Merez, but that's already been said. So,
well, Reedy, Gary Parker.
No idea, mate.
Jono, I'm hoping more from Jono.
I mean, I know it's obvious.
You're too young.
I don't know who he is now.
Well, and I know Carmen, his daughter, quite often watches us. So if Carmen, if you are watching, big hello to you, and of course your dad. But Gary Parker was one of I've had a debate before, by the way, saying he was one of the most cultured players ever to play for Leicester City. Gary Parker.
He was such a brilliant player.
He had everything, didn't he?
He was up there with my favourite players of all time when I was a kid.
Yeah, I know managers.
Playoff semi-final against Stoke.
Speak very, very highly of him.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Let's come to Jono. Jono, I've seen a few names again, more from your era, but a few people have said people like Leonardo Ulloa. Again, I'd love to have a Leonardo Ulloa on the bench or part of it.
Yeah, that Ulloa would be great. Like I remember him scoring that goal against that penalty that got us the draw. You know, because
Norwich,
against West
I
Ham.
think it was. I thought it was Norwich.
It was West Ham. No,
it was West Ham.
No, it was West Ham, because the Norwich one we scored last minute from the back end tap in.
Oh, was it?
That penalty against West Ham because Vardy got sent off for diving.
Yeah.
I'm going obvious, but it has to be Riyad Mahrez. It has to be Riyad Mahrez. That winger, you know, goal scorer. Not just a goal scorer, but he's the setup. Like that goal against Liverpool with Vardy, that lob, Jesus, that pass, yeah, brilliant. I think Riyad Mahrez would have him back, definitely.
Yeah, some great shouts in there. Let's get a couple more in there. Ben says, imagine Vardy and Dickoff up together. Yeah, that would be absolute pests, is the right word to describe him in there. What do you say, Nick?
Dickoff's a great shout.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've got one more as well that I think some people might be forgetting. Okazaki.
Oh, Okazaki! Yeah. What a bang! Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah, good shout.
There you go.
Overhead kicking against Newcastle. That's my best memory of him. That was brilliant.
There is these sorts of players, and you just think they don't need to be a main superstar or anything, but we used to find an Okazaki, a Leonardo Ulloa, you know.
What about Christian Fuchs?
Yes.
That pass, like that tracking back, his passing. Oh, he was great, Christian Fuchs.
You know what they all have in common?
Fine.
Steve Walsh Senior.
Steve Walsh, the old, yeah.
Perez, Kante, Fuchs, Kasper, Slimani to an extent. You know, Ulloa. All scouted by Steve Walsh Senior, who's no longer at the club.
Yeah, there's some great names there. Now, listen, guys, before I let you guys go, that actually leads me into a little competition that we're starting on Leicester Fan TV, thanks to the guys at Pukka Pies. I'm going to let you guys have a look at this. We're doing a Guess the Player competition, and we'll put it out on socials, and all you have to do is like and share it to enter and guess who is hiding behind the Pukka Pie. Yes, well done to Reedy, who did the graphics on this today. But, yeah, I don't want you to shout it out, you lot, but you got any ideas who that might be?
I can't say anything, can I?
Well, yeah, it's not Wes Morgan.
Wes Morgan.
That looks, I think.
Do you think you might know?
That's either
Well,
Mark.
hey, don't shout it out, Jono. Don't give it away.
I don't know who it is. I'm not part. I didn't see it.
I know. You'll have to have a guess, Jono. You could win a season's worth of pork pies from Pukka. You'd have that,
Well,
wouldn't you?
I'm vegetarian, so I can't have any of them anyway. So it
They
doesn't
do
matter.
vegetarian
They
ones.
do a vegetarian one, Jono, just for people like you.
There we go. I think it's
Well,
either two players.
Don't say. People like me and Nick could eat a season's worth probably of Balti pies, couldn't we, Nick, in a day?
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah. Who cares? That's the thing. Listen, guys, thanks so much. We've not done score predictions for Everton. There's loads and loads of things to do. But Nick, Jono, and Reedy, thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers, Phil.
Thanks so much to them. Let them all go. If you do, you'll see this post out there, and you can win a season's worth of Pukka pies thanks to the guys over there. So if you see it, have a comment on it and have a go. And we've got lots of extra prizes to give away in that one. So thanks everybody. It's so nice to feel happy on a Monday. It really is. I hope next Monday. Listen, a draw at Everton would be more than good enough. Pick up a point and stop them getting too far ahead. Let's hope. There's always hope with Leicester that it could go on and it could be 2 away games. Now, don't forget this week, Jono and Simon are live. We're hoping to get Ped from Toffee TV on with them on Thursday at 7:30. So join them. I think Reedy and Sam are doing a tactics show on Friday lunchtime. Reedy's nodding in the background, so that's on. The match is on Saturday, 3 o'clock. What the actual hell is going on at 3 o'clock? So does anybody else, by the way, have no idea when we're playing over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Absolutely got no idea. It's a Friday, it's a Sunday night, it's a Saturday lunch. Listen, all we care is that we win. And I want to say a massive thanks to everybody who's got their comments in here. It is, Craig says, it's a happy Monday. It is. Scooby says we're staying up fact. And Tito, watching on YouTube, says happy days. Don't forget, if you are on YouTube, watching us, thank you for that. Please give us a subscribe. And if you're watching on Twitter, X, Facebook, wherever you're watching this or watching it on playback, give us a like, give us a share. Can't do it without your comments. So thank you very, very much for all that. Tony Smith, last shout out, says Stevie Howard, he loved a pie. I wouldn't mind a bit of Stevie Howard back at the moment. Maybe on the bench, come on. That'd be great. Scooby says, top show. Thanks, Scooby. Can't do it without your comments, Scooby, and everybody else who gets one in. Give us a like, give us a share. We always appreciate it. And don't forget, when you see this competition come up, which will be coming up tomorrow on socials, make sure you guess and you could win a season's worth of Pukka pies. All right, I'll see you very, very soon. See you at the game.
Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pukka Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.